Hey guys, I thought that both the Chapter 12 reading of Pearson Revel and the documentary by Ken Burns on the Civil War gave great insight and laid a great foundation for understanding the American culture leading up to the Civil War. I thought that there was great insight on the political climate, the economic climate, the social climate, all the different factors that sort of amalgamated into the Civil War conflict. And then I thought the book Abraham Lincoln, Slavery in the Civil War contained a bunch of really great resources to help me further understand the American culture going into the Civil War. And three of those documents specifically that I want to share with you was first Justifications of Slavery, written around 1854 by Abraham Lincoln. The second was the speech, a response to the Dred Scott decision, written on June 26, 1857. And then finally, of course, A House Divided, a speech written by and presented by Abraham Lincoln on June 16, 1858. Now, I think these three speeches not only gave these three documents not only gave insight to Abraham Lincoln personally and what he thought about slavery, but I think it gave insight into what his perspective on was his perspective on slavery as a whole and how detrimental it was to the entire country. For example, with the justification of slavery, he basically revealed and he kind of solidified and condensed his disdain for slavery by beating it with logic. Because he said, if you have person A and person A owns person B, why can person B not own person A? And so obviously there was just the presumption that person A was a white person and person B was a black person or an African American. And he kind of revealed that without any specific details, you just assume that because person A owns person B, that automatically assumes person A is white and person B is black. But there is no actual evidence to support that, and so he kind of just showed how it was a product of social constructionism and a product of the culture of the time, and there wasn't any true basis for the peculiar institution that was slavery. And then I think that the Dred Scott decision kind of furthered that argument because he sort of revealed through that the danger of slavery was going to extend way beyond what most people were expecting it to. There was kind of this illusion that slavery was going to stay in the South, the freedom and abolitionists would stay in the North, and then America could kind of continue as this divided nation. But the fact that the Dred Scott, when a slave was moved to the North, sued the country for his freedom, lost, it showed that American or an African American, even in the North, still didn't have the same rights as a white person and was unable to sue. But then also, he had no hope ever of escaping his freedom, which is kind of contrary to the fact that even if in the North, he's still bound by the confines of slavery. And so, I also thought The House Divided really hammered this point home because it highlighted the fact that not only does slavery not make sense, not only are African Americans bound forever and eternally by slavery, but it's going to end up like slavery as an issue is going to end up completely destroying America. He said it's a house divided, and either the house will heal and will be resolved and will address slavery, or we're going to completely separate, completely be broken, and that'll be the end of it. But there's no longer going to be a point where the house is divided. It will either divide or reunite. And so I thought that this gave great insight into where Abraham Lincoln was on the subject, why he was so passionate about handling it, why it became such a confrontational issue in the late 1850s, early 1860s, and so what led up into the Civil War.